You want to know the truth about wealth and happiness? Then listen closely, because this isn't theory. It's the kind of truth that sits quietly inside your life, shaping everything, whether you notice it or not. You think the path changes when your salary changes. You think life shifts when opportunity finally knocks. You think everything gets easier once you catch a break, but it doesn't. Because the real shift, the one that rewrites your future, always starts with you, long before the world ever catches up. And here's the part most people never want to hear. If you want a life that feels rich and a future that stays rich, you must learn to work harder on yourself than you work on anything else. Not harder on your job, not harder on your goals, harder on you. And that's where the story truly begins. Because look around, you've probably seen people who got lucky. A promotion dropped into their lap. A business suddenly took off. A windfall appeared out of nowhere. And for a moment, everything looked perfect. But wait long enough, and something strange happens. Their success slips through their fingers. Their money drifts back to zero. Their life returns to the exact place their mindset has always lived. Because income cannot outgrow identity. And success cannot outrun the person holding it. If someone handed you $1 million today, life would test one thing. Are you already the kind of person who can hold $1 million? If not, the money won't stay. It'll evaporate. It'll move back to the pockets of the people who carry the habits, the discipline, the structure, the mental framework that matches that level of wealth. That's why someone once said, "Give everyone equal money, and soon it'll all flow back to the same hands." Not because the world is unfair, but because people rise or fall to the level of their personal development. Success is not something you chase. It's something you grow into. You attract it by becoming the kind of person it respects. And happiness doesn't come from what you get. It comes from what you become. If you want more, you must become more. If you want peace, you must become someone who creates peace. If you want a bigger life, you must stretch into the version of yourself that life is waiting for. So if you feel truly ready to shift your direction, here are the first steps. Not tricks. Not shortcuts. Not motivational fluff. 3 pillars that can rewrite your lifestyle, your confidence, your income, your presence, your path. The first one is simple. Find out how things work. Most people are not held back by problems. They're held back by a lack of ideas. Ideas are the spark that change everything. Ideas are the doorway out of limitation. Ideas turn confusion into strategy and scarcity into opportunity. When you understand how something works, nothing is confusing anymore. Money stops looking like luck. Success stops looking like magic. Life stops feeling like chaos. But in the beginning, when you're struggling, your mind wants to lie to you. It whispers, the problem is you don't have money. It whispers, the problem is no one helps you. It whispers, the problem is your environment, your disadvantages, your starting position. But those are not the real problems. Because someone with less than you has already figured out how to move forward. Someone with worse odds has already built something extraordinary. Someone who started with nothing has already walked the exact path you want to walk. So lack of money isn't the real issue. Lack of information is. When you finally learn how wealth is created, money becomes a byproduct. When you learn how influence works, confidence grows automatically. When you learn how success is built, it stops being mysterious. That's why the people who win long-term study. They observe, they take notes, they connect dots. They keep seeking answers. Because one idea, just one, can change 5 years of your life. But you'll never find that idea by hoping. You find it by studying the thing you want to master. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to transform your mindset, study transformation. Don't leave the direction of your life up to chance. Don't cross your fingers and pray the future works out. Make a study of the life you want. And when you learn something powerful, don't store it in your head and lose it later. Capture it, write it, record it, return to it. Repetition builds roots. Repetition deepens your understanding. Repetition changes you from the inside out. Because one day, without warning, that idea you wrote down will take root. It'll start growing in the way you speak, the way you show up, the way you think, the way you handle money, the way you respond to challenges. And everything will start to shift. Now, if you truly want to know how to change anything, your life direction, your confidence, your income, your mindset, there are 3 simple ways to gather the ideas that transform you. Number 1, read. Every truly successful person reads. Not because they're forced to, but because curiosity pulls them toward knowledge. They want to know more. They want to see deeper. They want to grow bigger. They read because each page carries someone's decades of experience, and one book can save you years of mistakes. You don't need to read all night. You don't need to read a library. You simply need consistency. 30 minutes a day, something positive, something instructional, something that challenges you, something that strengthens your thinking. Education may give you a starting point, but self-education is what gives you an unfair advantage. Number 2, listen. Listen to people who are living the life you want. Listen to their language. Listen to their mindset. Listen to the way they think, describe, decide, move. You can learn from those who fail because failure leaves clues. But you can also learn from those winning because success leaves even better clues. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people struggling don't spend time around those doing better. They avoid it. They tell themselves the successful don't need them. They tell themselves it's awkward, expensive, unnecessary. But imagine this. You sit with someone who's built what you dream of. You buy them a meal. You keep them talking. 2 hours of real conversation. 2 hours of wisdom you could never pay for. 2 hours of ideas that could double your income or shift your direction for the next decade. That's worth more than anything you're afraid to spend. Number 3, observe. Watch how successful people behave. Watch the details. Watch the patterns. Success is not random. People who win repeat certain habits, certain behaviors, certain attitudes over and over. And if you watch closely, you can absorb those patterns. There are 2 forms of seeing. Sight what your eyes notice. Insight what your mind understands. Use both. Be present. Pay attention. Don't drift through the day missing the clues standing right in front of you. Now, once you understand how things work, the next stage begins. Go to work. Not the exhausting kind of work where you burn yourself out chasing someone else's goals. The kind of work that requires discipline, the internal work that builds the muscles you need for the life you want. What could you make yourself do tomorrow that would change everything? You already know the answer. There's something small you've avoided, something you've postponed, something you've been too afraid or too tired to begin. Start there. Small disciplines create big ones. Small victories prepare you for life's bigger challenges. Small steps build momentum. But if you ignore the small, you'll never have the strength for the large. And remember, self-motivation is the only kind that truly works. If you need someone to push you, you'll collapse the moment they stop. Learn to push yourself. Learn to hold yourself accountable. Learn to act on what you know, not just store knowledge for later. Because knowledge without action becomes a trap. Action turns knowledge into results. And the final step? Don't try to beat the system. Work it, respect it, master it. But don't cut corners hoping to cheat your way into a life you haven't earned. Shortcuts create short-lived results. Cheap decisions create cheap lives. Do it the right way, even if it takes longer. Because when you build something with integrity, it stays. Now imagine this was a one-on-one conversation. Just you and me. No noise. No distractions. Just the truth. You have gifts inside you that you haven't touched yet. Strength you haven't used. Potential you haven't unlocked. Talent you haven't explored. And you can change today, tomorrow, any day you choose. Your life is flexible. Your future is adjustable. Your path is open. But only if you act. If you do nothing tomorrow, the next 5 years will look exactly like the last 5. But if you make a shift slightly or major, you rewrite everything. The question isn't can you change? The question is, will you?